Yes, indeed, I was shaving, and that is why I am a little late. Forgive me. But I'm here now. We're starting here. Setting up one last quick thing here. I've heard this song before. One of the most insane plane documentaries I've ever seen. As in, like, it's a documentary about a plane with mental issues. Because that's weird. Planes don't even have brains. Or do they? Anyways, you can see it got wet hair because I recently took my ablutions. And I'm opening up a Squirt Zero Sugar. By the way, hi, hello, welcome back to the Aku stream. I guess we should say that. If you're new here, please drop me a follow on Twitch or a subscription on YouTube. That would help out a lot. Because I am live right now on YouTube and Twitch. But of course, you may not be watching this live. Either way, thanks for watching. Alright, let's get into this game. But first we gotta stop this Ricochet song that's going on. And switch us over to the gameplay. There we go. Yes, streaming is live and we are starting. And continue. Oh yeah, so you may have seen the title of this stream. Last episode I had asked the important question, is it windy in here or is it just Kazuma? And fortunately we found out the answer. It was not Kazuma. Unfortunately. That's okay, because now we've got this fine gentleman. I know, I was not expecting that. I was just talking to Reika about how, like, I made a prediction to Reika where I was like, I would be willing to put down money that Kazuma's going to get framed for murder over in England and we're going to have to defend him. And he's going to get blamed for the murder because he has that sword with him all the time. That is not what happened. Alright, alright. We got to converse with this person. Reika, do you still not want to do this person's voice?
Do you keep going?
Okay, we need to do it. Just turn that knob all the way down. All the way. Okay.
Off now.
That's fine. Yeah, as long as I can hear myself. And just make sure you have the mic up and you speak into it, baby. And we're good. Anyway, so you still don't want to do a...
No, I don't.
Okay.
Alright.
Alright. Yeah, but maybe. Because the last port, I think the last port was Shanghai, which is where she was going to be tried. I don't think she's here still. I don't know, we'll see. Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh. I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. Ugh, this is going terribly.
We're not getting anywhere here.
I can't see what you're saying, chat, because Sethra is right here. If I can, yep, there's her nose. Look, there's little Sethra. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Perhaps that great detective could get somewhere with Mr. Roylott. Is he sitting in the... Okay. Mr. Roylott, we'd like to talk to you about something. No. Oh. I do not want to talk. Leave my cabin now. This is going terribly. Okay, yes, I know, we're not getting anywhere. Fine. Yes, gotcha. Holy shit. Alright, well, before we talk to the detective, let's take a look around real quick. What do you think you're doing? Ah! This is my cabin. Get out! Can we just have a quick look inside your traveling case, perhaps? No! Ah, what a pity. I think we're out of luck. I think you're right. There doesn't appear to be anything more we can do. I agree, but there may be someone else who can help. Alright, fine. I won't look at anything or talk to anybody or do anything other than this. Do you have a moment, please, Mr. Sholmes? You need only address me as Sholmes. That's what I just did, isn't it? Well, Mr. Sholmes, what were you doing in there? Why, I was resting, of course.
Resting?
Indeed. I was contemplating our sea voyage from the confines of the wardrobe whilst waiting. Waiting for the inevitable time that you would need to call my great powers of deduction into service.
Oh!
And it would seem that the hour is upon us now. The time has come. Am I mistaken? No, actually, you're spot on for once. Observe closely. Our Russian host in this cabin, Mr. Roylott, is clearly trying to hide something. And do you know what the most effective weapon to use against a Russian hiding a secret? Why do I get the feeling this is going to be racist? Why? The truth, of course. Okay. Though it should be pointed out that such methods are not exclusively for the Russians. Right. Can you imagine how the Russian will react when the secret he guards so closely is exposed? Would you like to witness it?
Oh, yes! Please!
Well then, what you're about to see may well astound you. For I am about to apply my great detective's greatly admired great deduction to the case. Still can't see chat, guys. Still got a cat. Could this man be a more hackneyed? I've actually I don't think I've ever heard this said. I think I've only ever read it in my life. Portrayal of a dubious Russian, I ask you? What? From time to time, it occurs to me. Is the fellow dubious on account of his Russianness, or Russian on account of his dubiousness? I really don't think either of those things should be occurring to you, or anyone.
Right, Mr. Sholm. I know this man's appearance and dark glasses are hard to ignore, especially on first meeting. I once read, it is a capital mistake to theorize before you have all the evidence. It biases the judgment.
Just so you know, that sounded a little distant because she's busy grabbing a snack. Shh! I must have complete silence. Okay, yeah, you just asked, is she talking across the room? Yes, she was. Or however that is spelled. Obviously, it's a Fabergé egg. No, void chat eater. What are those scissors? Something that belong. Okay. I'm all caught up now in chat. What? What are you doing? Why are you peering at my face like that? Ah, just as I thought. Yes, I have quite made up my mind now. There can be no other explanation that accommodates all the facts. Mr. Roylott, I have reached two incontrovertible conclusions. What? What do you mean? Number one, your true identity is that of a villain.
What?
Using those shears, you are about to end the existence of something most dear. Are you not? Ha! And number two, the other conclusion that I have drawn, you are, at this very moment no less, in the midst of committing a most grievous crime. Beneath that beard, your mouth quivers with nervous tension as you realize you have been discovered. Does it not? Ah!
Oh, Naruhodo-san, I never imagined I would witness one of Mr. Sholm's great deductions with my own eye.
That was a great deduction?
Nothing can deceive Mr. Sholm. In a single glance, he can deduce all there is to know about a person.
What? What ineffable twaddle! Oh god, I think I'm catching it.
Oh, yes. I've read about it countless times in the adventures of Herlock. And now I've experienced the astonishing of his great deductions firsthand. This is like a dream come true. This girl.
I can hardly believe it, but all the color is drained from Mr. Roylott's face. It looks, actually I'd say the color drained into it. It turned purple. It looks like somehow both Mr. Sholm's conclusions were right. How? How could you? How could I possibly know such things? You wish to say? Very well then. I shall elucidate. I shall explain how it was that I arrived at this pair of conclusions. So do I cordially invite you upon a journey of logical discovery. Let us board the train of reasoning. Put plainly, let us work through my deductions together. Great deduction. The game is afoot. Topic 1. Old man's identity. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously what catches the eye in the first place is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Now, moving on. Oh my gosh. The question then begged is this. Why would you desire to rid yourself of this magnificent beard, Mr. Roylott? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Regard, if you will, this morning's newspaper, in particular the fascinating front page article. I mean, hey, that's a good point to make there, Cody Cat, except of course we know it's fake, but which it would appear you have also read, Mr. Roylott. Or read also. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. The evidence that reveals your true identity is the article about the revolutionary. In translation, the headline reads, Revolutionary Villain Bolshevik Flees Russia via Shanghai. As you cannot fail to observe, the subject of the article possesses an extremely copious beard. Having noted the article yourself, you decided to remove your incriminating facial hair before it gave you away. In short, your true identity is beyond doubt. You are the fearsome Russian revolutionary himself, Villain Bolshevik. Not
He's
that I've
very
heard
wrong,
of you.
isn't he?
Not that I've heard of you myself, you understand. Topic 2, wrongdoing. Now, as for my second conclusion... He said I was also a revolutionary. We're all Russian revolutionaries. You are, at this very moment, on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Mr. Roylott. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see. Ah! And I assure you, the eye speaks so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case. You know, that's not a bad thing to mention. Just say over there without pointing and see where the person looks. It is time, I think, that the case be opened and its contents laid bare. I mean, he also has like x-ray specs and things to see fingerprints. Not to mention he had like he has like a Google machine that translated for him. So, like, I gotta say he's at least right on some things and it's got some good gadgets. No, I refuse! What could you possibly be concealing inside, we ask? By my estimation, a young lady, perhaps, one slight enough to fit therein. Okay, yeah, slight's not kidding. It'd have to be a very, very young lady. Don't be absurd! And what, pray, would be the identity of this young lady in the traveling case? Dear me. We are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless coup d'oeil betrays you. Ooh. Ooh, boys, hold on.
What does that mean?
Oh, we're gonna find out right now.
I'll look it up.
No, I got it. It's okay. Yeah, you know, because this is something we can do together here.
Alright. Are you sure? Okay. Alright, we're gonna learn together.
Here we go. A glance that takes in a comprehensive view.
Kudai.
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 Alright, there you go, boys. Your careless kudai betrays you. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer.
What was it mean?
Oh, it meant... Hold up. It ain't coming up for some reason right now. Here we go. A glance that takes in a comprehensive view. And then also while we're here, what's that other word we were thinking of that we read earlier that I was like, I don't know how to pronounce that? It was... like ends in EYE, I think. Damn it. Now it's eluded me. I couldn't remember what it is.
I need to make you louder.
Okay. Oh. Frick. It's that word we were talking about where I've only ever seen it written. Oh, well, if it comes to mind, we can look it up. Yes.
Where that word is.
The reason it has evaded me again. One day I'll catch it, the villain. Yes, the reason you refuse to open your traveling case can equally be found in the pages of this newspaper. For there is another, most stimulating article. If we turn from the fleeing revolutionary to the back page. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. Such a headline can lead us to but one conclusion. Your crime is that of abduction, and according to the article, the young lady's name is Nikolina Pavlova.
Delicious.
Conclusion: kidnapping of a young ballerina. Thus concludes Herlock Sholmes's great deduction of this Russian enigma. Elementsky. Instead of elementary. Dots. Sasato-san, that wasn't one of the great deductions I've been hearing so much about, was it?
Well, the stories are full of Mr. Sholm's brilliant deduction, you know? But that did seem a little different somehow.
Excuse me, Mr. Sholmes, could you come over here a moment? Pray, what can I do for you? It's about your deductions. Would you mind? Not at all. Go on. Yeah, never meet your hero, kids, unless that hero happens to be like The Rock or John Cena or Mr. Rogers. You know, someone like that. Then meet away, boys. Then meet away. To start with, there's the newspaper article. I think we had the same discussion before, but... these two men look nothing like each other. Yes, I recall our discussion earlier, and at the time I believe I told you that the man is a revolutionary, well able to revolutionize his own appearance.
In fairness to Mr. Sholm, Mr. Royal does look more like this man than you do.
That's not the point. And another thing, that part about him abducting the ballerina. Indeed, a truly startling revelation. At first glance, the case would appear too small to accommodate a young woman. Not just at first glance, it is too small. Clearly. You'd be lucky to fit a 5-year-old child into that case, even if you pushed really hard. I said much younger earlier, boys. I did. Oops.
I don't suppose the missing ballerina is a 5-year-old child, is she?
Just a moment. Got to adjust something, I think. Oh. You mean you don't know? No, the young lady is 15. Okay, I don't know how that has to do with anything, no? Okay. Back to the game. No, I didn't know. How could I?
Well, if she's 15, then 10 years worth of her would be poking out from the cave.
10
I can't stop laughing.
Oh, Sasato, man, that is some logic. Some years ago, I read something pertinent, I believe. A troop of men consuming vinegar daily in order to promote a certain litheness in their bodies. Vinegar? For such a sour bunch, it would surely be simplicity itself to contort oneself into the confines of that small case.
Oh dear. You might be thinking of contortionists in the circus, Mr. Sholmes.
Man, like, there's so much translating of, like, jokes and different things that have to go on here in different languages and stuff. Like, it's almost like, man, this game and, like, the Japanese game, just all the different languages of this game have to be so drastically changed so it would work. This has got to be a shit ton of work. This whole thing is turning into a circus. Oh, hold on, we didn't hear that, babe.
Mr. Naruhodo-san, something's occurred to me about Mr. Sholmes' deduction just now. I think his powers of observation are, well, magical. His eyes cut to the heart of a matter almost instantly. It's just where he directs his attention and his logic that seem a little off.
Dumb butch. Your idea of a little may be a little off itself, Miss Sasato.
It's just one or two keywords in his deduction that seem to let him down. So I was wondering if we might perhaps tactfully switch them for alternative. What do you think?
Switch some keywords in his deductions.
Yes, but very tactfully. I feel sure if we could do that. That didn't make sense.
Tactfully it is, then.
We'd unlock the true genius of Mr. Sholm's great deduction.
Precisely the thought that was going through my own mind. This man is a lot of work. At times, I wonder how anyone puts up with me. It's not that funny. And you, my good fellow. Sorry? Take a moment to look at your wrists. My wrists? Oh yeah, boys!
Where are your handcuffs?
Huh?
No?
How did... I felt they may hinder your ability to follow me in our dance of deduction. I don't believe it.
Mr. Sholmes, you are a marvel.
He'd be a lot more boring if he was a DC. And don't worry, I shall restore the shackles to your wrists when we are finished. I say that with 3 DC characters actually on the back wall, but whatever. They don't count, they're Batman characters. I'm not worried. In fact, I'd rather stay like this. So, let us begin. Herlock Sholmes is proud to present his Logic and Reasoning Spectacular. Course correction. Hold it. Oh, this is me. Hold it, Mr. Sholmes. So, the dubious-looking Russian, Mr. Roylott, obviously, what catches the eye in the first place? Is the enormous pair of shears in your hand. Now, we ask ourselves, what could you possibly want with such an implement? The answer, of course, is staring us in the face. You were on the verge of using the shears to cut away the copious beard you sport. Hey, Leviathan. Welcome back to the stream, boy.
Would you really use shears like that to cut off your beard?
I doubt that's something I'll ever have to worry about. It doesn't quite sit right with me, though.
It doesn't seem to be sitting right with Mr. Roylott either.
Which means, I suppose, that the deduction is wrong.
Let's try to switch a keyword, Naruhodo-san, and see if it helps matter.
All right, but how?
I think we should start by taking a long, hard look at Mr. Roylott.
Wonder if it's really his beard that he intends to use those shears on.
Exactly. If we do manage to find something that seems to fit the scent of Mr. Sholmes' deduction better,
then what?
Then I'll leave the rest in your capable hand, Naruhodo-san.
Why am I the one to do something about this? Well, anyway, let's see if there's anything we could even use to switch around in that last sentence. What exactly was Mr. Roylott really going to use those enormous shears for? Can I not? Thick hat.
No.
Coat buttons?
Can we look around him?
Ooh. That's an angle. Are we in a back alley somewhere? Trying to get a quick buck? Boom. What the? What's this?
Long. It looks like a cascade of stunning golden locks.
No. The color is not the point. The point is, what's it doing on the back of Mr. Roylot's head? And how is it growing out from underneath his thick black hair?
Well, yes, that's true. So it's stunningly beautiful and stunningly surprising.
Something's definitely not right here.
Yes!
Oh, shit! You are on the verge of using the shears to cut away the golden locks you sport. Indeed, you have identified the precise detail I was intending to expose. Roylot's probably like, why do they have their backs to me? Such lush golden hair certainly does not befit an old man. Ugh. You're not a man at all. You're a woman, and judging from the length and sheen of your hair, one still very much in her youth. Oh no! If only I had managed to cut off my hair, no one would have suspected. The question then begged is this: why would you desire to rid yourself of these magnificent locks? Once again, the answer is plain. We have clear evidence to shed light on the matter. Just be Druish. I'm sure it needs no further clarification. Hey, you know, I got this and I'm not Druish.
Why does he keep saying revolutionary?
Well, that was a shock. I had no idea that old man was really a young woman in disguise, did you? What? Why are you staring at me like that?
Yes, it was a surprise. Naruhodo-san. You're enjoying this, aren't you?
Sorry?
You look like you're in your element as you dance around the room deducing the facts with Mr. Holmes.
We are dancing, literally. I'm just doing what we agreed. I'm not having fun or anything. This is strictly business. Just strictly...
Yes, I understand. Say no more.
Well, anyway, let's focus on this next part of Mr. Sholmes' deduction, shall we? The evidence that he's picked out doesn't fit the facts at all now.
No, that's true, given that Mr. Royla is actually a woman.
Exactly. He, or rather she, can't possibly be this merciless revolutionary.
I suppose it's because the deduction as a whole has taken a different direction now.
Hold on. I'm gonna do another quick adjustment on something. Okay. Yes.
Let's switch the evidence for something else. Something that fits the facts, as we now understand them.
For some reason, this woman needed to try to hide her true identity. I feel as though I've either read or heard about a young woman in a situation like that recently. Alright, I'll do my best. Do I just present? Okay, yeah.
Yes!
I even did the... The evidence that reveals your true identity is, of course, the article about the ballerina. That's right. You've hit the nail on the head. Renowned prima ballerina of the Novovich Ballet disappears from Shanghai. It would appear we are finally able to address you by your true name. Yes, because your true identity is that of the Novovich Ballet's prima ballerina, Miss Nikolina Pavlova. Ah! Well, it's a good thing you had that fucking
my
hat on.
goodness. Oh, fuck.
Nuts.
Pretty.
Did she just put the earring on right now?
You're... Oh, that's you.
No, why don't you do this one now? Now
You're
that it's
right.
not doing a man's voice.
My real name is Nina. I mean, Nikolina Pavlova. I can't do voices. But please, I beg you, don't tell anyone.
A ballerina on the run. Solved. Now, as for my second conclusion, you are at this very moment on the brink of committing a most grievous crime. And the proof of this crime? Over there. Oh yes, Miss Pavlova. Taken unawares, people have a propensity to let their eyes stray, you see.
Ah!
And I assure you, the eye speaks so much more eloquently and honestly than the mouth. The answer we seek lies where the furtive glance falls. The proof of your crime sits before our very eyes. Yes, that traveling case.
What could ever be there?
This woman is the ballerina, and she's right in front of our eyes, so clearly she can't be inside that traveling case as well.
No. No, that's right. It seems she wasn't abducted at all.
In which case, what is the crime this young woman is apparently committing? I can see I'm going to have to step in
Kazuma.
and fix the great detective's mistake again.
You seem to look pleased, Naruhodo-san. Do you like the idea of another chance to dance around with Mr. Holmes?
Stop it. Anyway, there must be something else here that shows what this woman is up to. I just want to look around here first. Oh yeah, we can do like this. Wastepaper basket.
The waste paper basket?
Let's have a little look inside.
Naruhodo-san. It's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know.
Ugh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now.
However, these are special circumstances, I think.
Exactly. We have no choice. Dots. There's hardly anything in here at all.
Oh, well, that's a little disappointing.
I don't know, I do it all the time in video games. I couldn't see it even
Tiara?
when I went. Yes, obviously it's the tiara. I'm just saying, like, because like from here it didn't show it. I went this direction first, nothing. It's right there. Wow, look at this dazzling tiara.
I've never seen anything like it. Are those real diamonds, do you think? Or like... Oh, Naruhodo-san, try it on.
What? Me? Isn't it usually girls who wear tiaras? Wouldn't you like to try it on?
Oh no, I couldn't possibly. Far too beautiful.
Why does this tiara look familiar? I feel like I've seen it somewhere recently.
Yes!
The Hope Diamond is gonna die. The proof of your crime is surely this tiara. I think your mic was off when you did that.
No, it wasn't.
Oh. I believe this tiara is worn on stage by dancers in the Novovich Ballet, is it not? Indeed, it would appear to be identical to the tiara pictured here in this newspaper article. And if the reporting is to be believed, it's an item worth 20,000 rubles. In summary, don't do that again. The crime you have committed is theft.
Oh no!
Yes, you left your ballet troupe unlawfully taking their precious tiara with you.
Ah! I have no one, no family, no friends. I am all alone, and I need money. But I did not steal the tiara. It was a present from, how do you say, an earl, a parasha. It belongs to me.
This girl is only 15 years old, and she's run away all by herself. She must have been extremely lonely. Fucking abused or something, holy shit.
Alright, we'll tell you everything. There is no point to hiding it now.
Come, come, let us not be hasty.
What?
There remains one unsolved mystery about you.
Mystery? What do you mean?
You have staunchly refused to open this traveling case of yours in our presence. It is reasonable to conclude, therefore, that there exists some reason why you wish it to remain closed. Is that not so, Miss Pavlova?
My dear girl. Oh,
My dear girl, there is no sense in playing games with me. Nothing escapes my attention except maybe the name above the text box. Indeed, I have a very good idea of the contents of your case, even before I have ever laid eyes on them. Dear me, we are not well suited to a life of crime, are we? Your careless how do I say it?
Doyle?
No, we just Kudoyle, I think. Kudoyle.
Doyle? Deal?
We just looked this up. Okay, whatever. Once again, we need only follow your furtive glance to find the answer. Oh yeah, Kuday. Yeah, it was like Kuday. Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the books on the shelf. He's completely changed tack with his deduction now.
I think Mr. Strom is adapting his logic to the changing circumstances, don't you?
Maybe. But why has he suddenly brought the bookshelf into all this? It's just a wild guess, surely.
Oh, don't you think so?
Well, it doesn't seem likely that the reason why this young woman doesn't want to open her case would have been written in a book that doesn't even belong to her.
Yes, that's true, but still.
Miss Pavlova. Oh.
Miss Pavlova certainly did cast her eyes in that direction. I noticed it myself.
I did not notice, and I also did not notice whose turn it was to speak. Then there has to be another reason why she won't open her case, and it must be somewhere in the same area, if that's where her gaze was involuntarily drawn.
I agree. That's the only answer.
Whatever she has hidden inside that case should be revealed by following her gaze in the direction of the bookcase.
Ooh.
It's her.
It's a pet.
Yes, it's her pet snake.
Could be a ferret.
Well, going off of what the story of this mystery is.
True. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
There was exactly the same notice in our cabin, too. I wonder what happens if you break the rules.
Oh dear, I'm sure the punishment would be severe. Naruhodo-san. You'd probably be left to drift in the freezing cold ocean. Or locked in a cellar, jeez. Or shut inside a tiny wardrobe for days on end.
Okay, first off, I don't think we're going to be putting a cellar out at sea. And second, yeah, I already had that. So I've actually been serving time for weeks now, have I?
Well, you were
okay,
a
wait on, just a moment. Let me go deal with the dogs. They're playing too loud. Okay, I actually just ended up joining the playing a little bit and did not fix anything.
He made it worse.
It was fun, though. Oh. Dang it. I clicked on something I didn't mean to. Metal door, same as Kazuma's cabin.
Yes, and the rather slim bolt is the same as well.
Well, if Miss Pavlova was actually glancing over at the door here instead of the bookcase, that would suggest a desire to run away from this cabin.
Maybe.
Okay. I accidentally lazy-fingered it there.
Yes!
Yes, the reason why you refuse to open your case is written in the rules of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Inside that case of yours is something forbidden from the carriage on this vessel. That is the real reason why you refuse to open it, thus revealing its contents. As we've seen, the trunk wobbles from time to time, but no weapon or other dangerous item would move of its own accord. Which leaves but one possibility, Miss Pavlova, inside your traveling case. Is the last item as forbidden in the vessel's rules of passage, eh, pet?
He said that at the same time.
I tried to kind of mix the voices. Solved. Elementary. This is awesome. I love this now. This character kind of annoyed me earlier. Now he's my favorite.
Kind of annoying.
So clearly, you aren't who you said you were.
No, I am not Grimsby Royal. My real name is Nikolina Pavlova. Everything you said was correct.
You absolutely absconded during one of your ballet company's performances in order to escape your homeland. Later that same night, you stole aboard this vessel. Which couldn't have been easy. The Buria is a huge steamship with a vast crew. Could she really have snuck on board without being noticed? In order to obscure your true identity, you somewhat recklessly took the guise of an old gentleman. And yes, exactly. Anyone who does the Kazakh dance has obviously got my trust. That's just how trust works. What are you talking about, Leviathan? And you intended to sever all links with your past by severing your long hair. Yet to a woman, hair is no trifling matter. My personal recommendation is to leave well alone. So, if it was just you about to cut off your own hair, who was it that let out the scream we heard from outside the cabin? That veritable tinkling of a bell? Why, none other than this young lady, naturally. More like a full set of pipes, if you ask me.
I was so scared when I ran away in Shanghai. I was sure they would come look at... Okay, hurry. Changing the voice. That's why I decided to, how do you say, disguise myself? So no one would recognize me.
I discussed myself often.
As a result, you transformed yourself into that questionable old man. I see. Put on the fur hat and fake beard. Then, just before you came in here, I saw in the newspaper, right on the there was a picture of me. I was so frightened, I couldn't stop from screaming. I knew that if I didn't change my appearance completely, they would find me. So I decided to cut all my hair as fastly as possible. I picked up the scissors in my hand and...
At that precise moment, we walked in through the annoyingly unlocked cabin door. Stop doing that.
Things happen like that sometimes, don't they?
Things do indeed happen like that, from time to time. Are those two even talking about the same thing?
There's just one more thing I'd like to know. What exactly do you have inside your traveling? You're right. It's my dear friend, my only friend in the whole world. Please, don't tell anyone. The captains find out. If you say to any of the crew...
Your secret is safe with us, I assure you. But in return, you must tell us, in as much detail as you can muster, about the events of last night.
Yes, all right. I will tell you. Killed Kazuma. Well, Mr. Naruhodo-san? Wasn't it something Mr. Sholm's great deduction?
It was certainly something, yes. I'm just not entirely sure what. But at least Miss Pavlova has agreed to tell us what she knows. That's incredible. Indeed, it is incredible. Ah, and one more thing. Oh, yes? What? Observe your wrists. My...
Ah! Your hands are cuffed again.
What? But how? True to my word, I have restored your shackles. When and why? Because I've probably gone back to being his #1 suspect.
There is still a shadow of guilt cast over you, Mr. Naruhodo. I'm sorry to say. It can't be helped at the moment.
Can't it? Really?
Anyway, let's listen to what Miss Pavlova has to say.
Yeah.
I can't go on not knowing. I have to find out what the speckled band that Kazuma-sama wrote about in his diary really was.
Did you know that someone was killed in the cabin next door to this one last night?
One of the crewmen told me this morning when I was eating breakfast.
The man who died. He was a friend of mine.
Oh,
That's why we're trying to find out what happened. Did you notice anything unusual last night?
perhaps you heard a strange noise, for example. Perhaps people talking.
Yeah, unfortunately, Leviathan. Unfortunately. Perhaps the ship was absorbed in a wild tempest. Perhaps its steam engine exploded. Perhaps everyone on board would have noticed if that had happened?
Miss Pavlova, is there anything you can tell us? Bleh, I don't know. I'm sorry. All I could think about last night was what I had done and whether they wouldn't find me.
Oh yeah, boys, I'm drinking the Mountain Dew. I'm drinking the Diet Double Dew. 2 times the sugar, 1/2 the sugar. Do the math.
Isn't that just a normal Mountain Dew?
No, this is the way it would be normally. I'm making a reference to South Park, even though I don't remember.
No.
Remember, that's the We Shouldn't Have Gone Ziplining episode, where they
Yeah.
also do live action in it. I don't remember what the exact quote
Don't they
was.
all
but
get like cold sores at one point?
yes, they all get cold sores. Which, as Cartman rightfully is pointing out, is a form of herpes.
Didn't notice anything that was happening around me.
Oh, I see.
Lies.
You've run away from your ballet company, haven't you? The Novovich Ballet?
Yes.
Oh, and that the 20% that don't have it are like people in rural kind of corners of the world and other places. Here in the United States, especially anywhere around cities and suburbs, we all got it.
I'm traveling to Great Britain, and from there, I want to go to America. I will never dance again. I want to forget everything about the ballet. I will start a new life.
You wish to forget? A challenging proposition when you have that striking tiara as a reminder.
The tiara is mine. I need it to live. I have no money of my own. And can't even say that. The Novovich Ballet gives us only a little food and water, and we must dance all over the world. I had to run away. I had no choice. If I stayed, it would have killed me. So you ran away to protect yourself? Yes, and the crew of the ship, they have all been kind to me. They let me come on board, and they said I could hide in the cabin.
If that is indeed the truth, Miss Pavlova, it creates a most intriguing conundrum.
Yes, it does. What do you think about it, Mr. Naruhodo?
Me? Oh, well, yes, of course. I think we should hear Miss Pavlova's explanation. To what conundrum? I'm not sure, but... Miss Pavlova, allow me to pose you a riddle. According to this newspaper, it was only yesterday that you absconded from the ballet. Now, that being the case, it must have been last night that you boarded this vessel. However, the SS Buria stopped by no port last night. Ah, that's it, of course. So how is it, pray, that you come to be aboard?
Now that I think about it, the crewman outside the cabin acted very strangely when we mentioned that. It was just after we asked him about when the occupant of this cabin came aboard.
That is not your business. Yes, you're right. He did seem to be hiding something.
What? An angel descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to the stage.
Sorry? What was that?
It is how the Russian newspaper described one of my performances. And that is how I came here too. I descended from the heavens because I am an angel.
Dots. Considering English isn't your mother tongue, your description is very vivid.
Mr. Sholmes once said, I never can resist a touch of the dramatic. It seems Miss Pavlova is the same.
A genius descended from the heavens, bringing grace and beauty to detection. Words once said about myself. A quote from a wonderfully extravagant advertisement for the adventures of Herlock Sholmes, in fact.
I feel like this is just an advertisement for Sherlock.
Yes, Mr. Shoei. Anyway, it doesn't look like Miss Pavlova is going to tell us what really happened. So, the friend you mentioned is inside your traveling case, is that right?
I don't think animals are allowed on board, according to the rules of passage.
Leviathan, you know the answer to that question.
Oh, please, don't tell. Don't tell any of the crew. If they found out, my precious...
Then the burly Russians would bestir themselves in unison to throw you and your case overboard, no doubt. So reassuring, Mr. Sholmes.
But what sort of pet is your friend? A little puppy? Is it? Isn't it? Bleh.
Maybe an adorable little rabbit.
Bleh.
Huh! You credit Russia as a land with small rabbits, do you? Pretty sure Russia has rabbits. Oh, don't they have small rabbits there then? You may well ask. I have no idea. Ha. You two are a miserable bunglers when it comes to understanding the nature of young ballerinas' friends. Isn't it obvious? It must be a chicken.
Really?
Consider the benefits. A rousing wake-up call, daily fresh eggs, And when adversity strikes, it could satisfy the needs of sustenance. So you'd eat your friends. I'll remember that.
Blah.
Well, it would appear his friend's identity is a closely guarded secret not to be revealed. Ha 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 ha! He obviously doesn't quite trust us yet. There's something I'd like to show her, I think. I'm still saying it's a snake because, you know, the name of this thing. Maybe she might be able to shed some light on it.
Show her something.
I don't have the option to show her something. Let me see.
Don't touch that.
Huh?
I will tell you what I know about last night, but please. You must not touch my thing. How do you say? Forbid it.
Oh, sorry. As well you should be, young man. What vulgar manners you have, poking around in a young lady's private belongings. Neither shall I allow it. Hypocrite. Okay, so it seems like we've looked at everything around here. Let's go back to back. Oh, that's right, I have to present. Let us present the diary. This is the diary of my friend who passed away.
His diary?
Yes, and he wrote in it last night before he died. Something a little unusual. It reads, 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. And then a few minutes later, 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill.
A speckled man? I don't understand.
It's strange, isn't it? But the ventilator he mentions joins to this cabin, you see. It's up there on the wall.
In other words, the cabin and the victim's cabin are connected together. Oh. Miss Pavlova? Has something occurred to you? Does the speckled band the victim mentioned mean something to you? Or the whistling sound, perhaps? Blah. No. I don't know anything. You know something.
Oh.
Blah.
Excuse me, Mr. Roylott. Yes? What? Wow, she's fast. Captain would like to speak with you. You must come to Captain's quarters at once. Please. Alright, I will come now. That's... What? You must leave, now. Oh no, it's fine. Don't mind us.
Yes, please don't worry yourself, Mr. Roylott.
Get out! The passenger said out, or do you want to You want me to throw you out? Ugh, it looks like we'll have to leave investigating this cabin until later.
What a pity.
And so we lost our chance. Having still not managed to investigate Miss Pavlova's cabin, we were unceremoniously chased out. That is to say, we were quite literally picked up and thrown into the passageway outside. To be continued. We can still continue a bit right now, though, because we cut it early last time. Well, we didn't cut it early, but we didn't stop at a save point last time. This one isn't fitting neatly into our 2-hour streams. 9th of January, SS Buria, first class cabin passageway.
I wish we hadn't been thrown out like that.
I wish we'd managed to find some clue as to what the speckled band might be.
We didn't manage to investigate at all. I imagine that we won't be able to for a while longer. We'll never get past that sailor guarding the door.
He's clearly glaring at us, as if to say, "Don't even think about it." Oh, wait a minute.
What is it?
Well, what happened to our great detective friend? Where did he go?
Oh yes, he's completely disappeared.
When did he do that? He slipped away as quietly as the wind, but not before ensuring these were securely back on my wrists. God damn, he's glaring at us. Might as well talk to him. Really wish we'd had a chance to look around at Miss Pavlova's cabin. Dots. What? Why you look like that? You want something? Maybe you want me to throw you out again, Oh, no, definitely not that. Next time I have to throw you out, I show you where lobsters spend winter. Understand? Understand. He mentioned lobsters last time we talked to him as well. Maybe I should steer clear of him until he's forgotten my face.
I don't think he'll ever forget your face, Naruhodo-san.
Wait, that wasn't my thoughts.
She's psychic,
Apparently.
like Kazuma. That door leads to the second-class area.
It's locked. I can't open it.
No, well, that stands to reason. No one wants to let the murderer escape.
Gosh, she gave me a very stern look when she said that. Alrighty. Dan. We already looked at this too. Okay. First class cabin number 1. Yes, that's our cabin.
Not our cabin. It's Kazuma-sama's.
Sorry?
Your accommodation is confined to the wardrobe inside the cabin.
You know how to make a stowaway feel small, don't you? As small as the wardrobe I've been calling home. Anyway, I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga has managed to uncover any new clues.
Yes, we should probably find him and ask.
Alright, we go back, move. Kazuma's cabin. It looks like they're still investigating in here.
Yes, on that subject, I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed.
What do you mean unscathed?
Surely you haven't forgotten, have you? Naruhodo-san?
Yes, the
Don't-
waiter is here.
Don't you
Goliath.
remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you.
Oh, yes. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. There he is. What the fuck?
Oh my goodness.
I was not expecting this. Oh, you're back. Inspector?
What happened to you? Your face is...
Please don't worry about it. They're just scratches. Made by a bear, maybe? When I told the captain that I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fists and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. Looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to.
Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little about the neighboring cabin.
Yes, and so I understand.
Oh?
I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herr Lock Scholz. I don't think he was German, though. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes, then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? Oops, I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to the case, at least. Oh? How? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? Oops, now I've definitely upset him.
Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful?
If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed, ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. So I'm just keeping watch here, trying not to take my eyes off the job.
I see.
Ah, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what?
Yes, do tell us, Inspector. Please.
What is this new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Buria's medical officer has finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh, Kazuma's post-mortem report?
Kazuma-sama.
So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebrae is what's written in the report.
His neck was broken?
Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury, so at first I thought they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet, but the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object, something that wouldn't leave a mark. Oh, I see.
All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. It is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left.
Poor Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yes, it is fine. I trust you. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? Ah. A report from the SS Buria's medical officer, giving the cause of death as a cervical spine injury. There were no traces of external injury or poison.
Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, was he?
Yes. He seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he must have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now that you mention it, yes. Just one thing, but he practically shouted it. "It's shoe polish!" was all he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. It was when he was over there. It was when he was over there by the piece of broken glass. Do you see?
Oh, shoe polish. Ah, perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark. Do you think?
Ah, yes. That must be it. But how could Mr. Sholmes know what the
That it's shoe polish.
It's shoe polish. Yes, thank you. That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. Was it Sasato-san? Or what is it, Sasato-san?
Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue.
Dark tan? A sort of dark brownish red, then.
Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for him.
Oh. Does this mean that this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they scuffed on the floor? Mark on the floor has been added. Okay, so a piece of a small glass object and what looks like a scuff mark made by Kazuma's shoe were found on the victim's body. That's really all I can tell you at this stage. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best, thank you.
Poor Inspector. You look exhausted.
Oh, no. Well, I feel terrible that I failed to protect Tasogi-san. He was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. A heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too. This is where Kazuma spent his final moments, writing his diary. You already know these, yes. Looking at his writing here on this page, it's almost impossible to believe that he's gone.
Kazuma-sama left us a valuable clue in these words. I'm sure of it. We have to solve this mystery, Naruhodo-san.
Oh, look, boys. We got a little Miko back there. Look at that. And we also have a little cat who's walking up over here. Oh, thought was trying to go onto the bed. Oh. Let's see what happens. These are pets in the wild. At least the wilderness of streams. Okay, well, they're both just sitting there. Miko's looking at her. Okay, anyway, back to the game. Oh, we will. So this ventilator joins to Miss Pavlova's cabin.
Yes, that's right.
And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. The speckled band, as he described it.
If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on it, but she seemed as baffled as we are.
Yes. I wonder if she's telling us everything, though.
I'm not sure.
I know most people aboard would say the same about me, but there was something about that woman that didn't sit right with me. So it's clear that these letters were written with the ink that was somehow spilt on the floor, and they spell the Russian word for wardrobe.
It does seem to be an ambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, as you were sleeping in there.
But to be truly unambiguous, it should have just spelt out my name, don't you think?
Well, either way, one fact remains. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last word in Russian.
Which begs the question of who did write it. All the books provided for passengers occupying this cabin, neatly arranged on the shelf.
They were all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember.
Oh yes, and you tidied them up, didn't you?
You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabins lead to damage.
But it really wasn't me who knocked them over.
Well, anyway, I feel much better now they're all neatly lined. I can't relax when things are untidy.
These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Buria.
Passengers must not keep weapons or the dangerous object in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden.
So by bringing her pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rules.
She called it her friend, didn't she?
Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as yet.
I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's inside the traveling case in her cabin.
A friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think.
It It really is such a beautiful color, this glass.
It looks like whatever it was has broken clean in two, but the other half is nowhere to be seen.
And then there's the brick-colored mark.
Which is shoe polish. Which is shoe polish, according to that great detective you seem to know all about.
I suppose it must be from Kazuma-sama's shoes?
Maybe. But what I'd like to know is, how can the detective be so sure that it's shoe polish and not something else?
Because he's a great detective, of course.
That's hardly a reason, is it? And I'd be very surprised if he was correct anyway about it. You, where did you go? Oh, sorry, I just went next door cabin to investigate. Why? Who gave you permission for this? Well, I mean, Seaman Hosonaga did. That new Japanese, was it? Don't like the way that was said. Later, we will roll him into ball and throw him in cold room. Whew, he's gone back to guarding the door.
I hope Inspector Hosonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account.
He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at La Carnival.
That could be a very long time from now, Naruhodo-san.
Let us examine the court record, maybe. Victim male, Far Eastern. Time of death, sometime between 1 a.m. and a little past 2 a.m. Cause of death, damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. The victim's neck was almost certainly broken as a result of a strong blow to that area. No obvious external injuries or traces of poison. Oh wait, hold on, am I able to? No, can't look around. Okay. Definitely looks like a bell, like a glass bell.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Poor Kazuma.
What do we have to do now? Like,
We just gotta figure out what to do.
maybe move outside again?
That's what I'm gonna do now. We might run into the detective. You just gotta keep poking and prodding.
Ah! Look, Naruhodo-san. Demon Stroganoff has gone.
Still think that sounds really gross. A seaman Stroganoff.
He-Man.
Strong enough?
The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us.
All these Russian names are impossible to remember.
Tra la la.
Did you hear that? It sounded like someone singing.
Tra la la li ra li ra la. I did it a great detective way. Oh, that's you.
Oh. Tra-la-la-li-ra-li-ra-lay, I did it the great detective way.
It's caroling. I know that lark-like voice.
Lark-like, Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us.
Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin while we can and investigate. Let's break in her room.
Definitely. Before that stringy knot crewman comes back.
It's Stroganoff, not stringy knot.
Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Sasato-san. Oh, where's she gone? Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things.
There's not a moment to waste, Naruhodo-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. Oh, the case is open.
I suppose you're right, for Kazuma's sake.
Not just for Kazuma-sama. What do you mean?
What do you mean?
It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there. Aw, you care.
Really?
We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san, but by ourselves if we have to.
Yes. We will.
The case is open.
Okay, yeah, first thing's the case.
Oh my! Miss Pavlova's case is open.
It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there.
Yes, a friend that she had to keep secret.
Because you're not allowed to bring animals on board the SS Burya. I wonder what kind of animal she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now? All the books have toppled over together. Look, every single one.
You think that's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though.
It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door. In Kazuma's cabin.
Perhaps. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase?
No, she said she wasn't going to do ballet anymore anyway. I'm wondering if maybe there was a sudden jolt to the ship at one point that knocked everything over.
Or maybe whatever pet she had got into our room and knocked over the bookshelf.
Just like these ones, yeah, maybe. I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company?
All right. It must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage.
That's what she suggested for our room. Not everything bad that happens on this ship is because of me, you know. Well,
anyway, I'll set them all straight again in here, too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Why does she keep messing with evidence?
Ah, yes, they're displayed in this cabin too. Look, the SS Burya's rules of passage. Passengers, yes, okay, we've read this a bajillion fucking times today.
Suppose Miss Pavlova realized that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read it. Her special friend, I mean.
I wonder where her friend has disappeared to now. It's probably having fun exploring the ship, I'd imagine.
I just hope Seaman Stroganov doesn't find it and throw it overboard.
Oh, yes. So do I.
Naruhodo-san, are you there?
Sorry, I'm right here, yes. Why?
Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home.
My God. Believe me, I don't want to have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know.
Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes.
Yes, I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there. No such luck. There's one of these next to the bed in Kazuma's cabin, too.
Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist.
No, don't. Why would you? She barely hesitated there, and she gave it a good tug, too. Thoughts?
No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come.
We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret. Christ.
Maybe leave the room?
No. We're still doing stuff in here. This cabin door has the same simple sort of bolted latch that our cabin door has. If the bolt's drawn across, there's no way anybody could enter the cabin from outside.
Yes, it's not a particularly heavy-duty bolt, is it? But still, it wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it?
No, and the door is made of metal, so there's no chance of trickery using magnets to unbolt it from the outside. No, it did. No. Okay, I've solved the case of the bolted door. I haven't solved it, but it's what knocked over the books and the statue. The ship did have a big jolt at some point, and that's what caused things to fall over in Kazuma's room, both on the bookshelf, and there's like a candle stand and chair that were falling over. Plus the plate was on the floor. The books were knocked over. The books over here were knocked over. Whatever did that caused the bolt to also slide in that same direction. That's it, boys. That explains how the door got bolted. We'll come across what actually was the jolt.
And it seals up perfectly, too, to stop any seawater coming in. So you couldn't use the method you told me of passing a thread through a crack around the closed door either.
I seem to know a lot of tricks for opening doors. I'm starting to see why they suspect me.
It would seem this teapot is empty.
So the natural conclusion is that the Russians are a very thirsty people. Oh, they're thirsty, boys.
Or because Ms. Pavlova only came into this cabin last night. She hasn't had the chance to make any tea yet. I mean, it could be either.
It's definitely that they're excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it.
You're rather obstinate, aren't you, Naruhodo-san?
I'm starting to act like her.
I wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor.
Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately.
Ah, do you think? For the pet. Do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here? No.
What? A leak?
Is this ship quite safe?
I'm sure that even if there was a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship's gonna sink.
No, you're right. Of course you're right.
She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she?
For the pet. I suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket.
Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away?
Naruhodo-san. Poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know.
Ugh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. I've already done this.
However, these are special circumstances, I think.
Exactly. We have no choice. There's hardly anything in here at all. Hoping it would give me a better look around, but...
Oh, well, that's a little disappointing.
I think... we're done then. Oh, we can do the grill again. So this ventilator connects to Kazuma's cabin next door.
Yes, although what a foolish shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room.
Are you having a stroke, Sasato? Maybe. It's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant of this cabin would notice and raise the alarm.
Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning.
That is a possibility. Anyway, last night, Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of the ventilator. Oh, look who it is.
Oh, it's Mr. Sholmes. Look.
Wow, you never really know where he's going to turn up next, do you?
He seems to be stealing a look at something as he sings to himself.
I wonder, is that a real gun he has? Or is it something... Oh, no, it's not a gun. I remember now. It's the thing he used to, like, spray for fingerprints.
Sing.
Tra-la-la, lira-lira-lay. I did it the great detective way. He's still singing. Do you think he hasn't noticed us?
Or he's simply in extremely high spirit.
Yes, there were times, I'm sure you knew, when the yard bit off more than it could chew. And through it all, when there was doubt, it's lucky Herlock was about. He's doing I Did It My Way, you know, an old song like Frank Sinatra. Speaking of Frank Sinatra, by the way, Frankie's going to be back on the couch here soon. Getting closer to October. Excuse me. I solved it all, and I stood tall. I did it the great detective way. Mr. Sholmes! Ah, what is it? You want to fight? Honestly, interrupting a fellow when he's singing, and I was just about to reach the climactic finish. Sorry, I thought you were never going to stop, so I figured now's as good a time as any. I very nearly dropped you to the floor with one of my famous right hooks. Right, I get the picture. Now, could you put those fists away?
A freak. Mr. Sholmes, you seem to be examining something before we interrupted you.
Yes, that. I was immersed in a study of the ship's log, as penned by the stockily built crewman who's usually on guard here.
Oh yes, the ship's log.
And did you find out anything useful from it? Well, after 2 a.m. this morning, the majority of the entries are blank. Which means that there was nothing to report. Nothing of note happened, so... You truly are a student from the land of the rising sun. You've been utterly blinded by it. Sorry? Your logic, my boy, is inverted.
Whatever do you mean, Mr. Sholm?
Observe the other pages, and all shall become clear. It would seem the same crewman oft stands sentry in the first-class passageway, and he has an almost religious practice of recording nothing to report every half hour. Oh, he writes that in every 30 minutes?
Nothing to report.
Precisely. Put simply, the seaman writes nothing to report when there is just that. And yet, the ship's log from last night is largely blank. He didn't even write nothing to report.
Do you mean?
Yes, there were circumstances afoot last night which led to the seaman being absent from his post.
What kind of circumstances? What happened?
That remains a mystery for now, but we can be sure something significant took place. So significant that it caused the seaman to forget his regular habit of scribing nothing to report in the log. These are important details. I would stake my life on it. You must log the ship's log in your mental file. A record kept by the crew assigned to the first-class cabin area. There are virtually no entries from 2 a.m. until early this morning. Now that deduction was worthy of a great detective. Ah, you're starting to understand what my way is, I see. What makes Sholmes Sholmes? Brilliance! Ooh. Ouch. What is it? Are you hurt? Oh, don't worry yourself. I seem to be afflicted with a throbbing head this morning for some reason. Nothing more. Everybody's got that throbbing head.
Yeah.
Well, my friends, until our next encounter. See, now, I thought that the throbbing head... Because originally it was just our character who had it that we knew of. But now it's like everybody else has it. And it's got me thinking that's the sudden jolt. Made everybody bang their head.
Yeah.
He's still singing to himself. I can hear it as he wanders off down the passageway. Is something wrong, Susato-san? You seem lost in thought.
It's just, well, I feel the same.
Sorry?
Ever since I woke this morning, I've had something of a headache. A sort of continuous throbbing.
Yeah, there we go. Oh, you too? Alright, boys, we have hit 2 hours, and we're not talking to anybody currently, so this is a good time to stop for the night. We'll definitely be playing more of this game soon. However, we are not overriding our spooky stream this Friday. We will be doing that normally. Speaking of which, we have two options. We could continue on with Amnesia to do Amnesia: A Machine for Pigs, or we could play that game that Jen, or that It's the Jen, as her name is on stream. She suggested to me a game that I totally remember. Hold on. It's ship related. I'm just trying to remember the name right now. It's called Under: Depths of Fear. Supposedly takes about 3 to 4 hours to play through, so it's not a very long game. But yeah, that's a good single spooky stream. But it's about like a sinking ship and like zombie, probably hallucinations coming after us in like World War I era. Okay, yeah, you know what? Let's do that, because everything is ship-related that we're doing right now anyway in this game, huh? But we'll do that, and then the next spooky stream afterwards, so not this week, but next week, we'll continue on with Amnesia by doing a machine for pigs. So, with that, I say we just go ahead and close out this stream. Leviathan and Cody Cat, thank you both for showing up